Hello everyone, this is Tigris. I will review the game from Iglo, our big group. The black player was Mehameka and white was Cataplexy. It looks like there is some rank difference on OGS for both players, but the game was really close and exciting, and we will have a lot to review. Here black chose this dsatkas where we have this stone on the 4th line. We could also play this on the 3rd line. And what is the difference? Here we are a bit safer. It is harder to create something big on the lower side. But the corner is a bit safer, and we don't really want to add any moves nearby. If we play like this, it is played to making Moyo on the lower side easier to form. The problem is that white has the stone here. We don't really have a wall. If we had a wall, something like that, or maybe not so strong, but some stones towards the lower side, then it is a good choice to play on the 4th line. But if we don't have those stones, the wall, then probably it was just better to play on the 3rd line. Maybe at least we should have a stone here, like Hoshi. So in the future, it will be possible to create something bigger on the lower side. Then it makes sense. The game black played this one and also added the move. After this dsatkas, it is more important to add a move, but still there are much bigger moves on the board. Like that, like that, like that, of course. Everything is bigger. Here black should be safe in the corner. The game black played this one and white took the big move. And now we come to this corner a bit late. Of course, it is bigger to take the big point in the upper left corner, but this move is not a really common way to come to this corner. In some cases it is good, but when white already has the Shimari after the Hoshi move, then probably we want to be a bit more afraid and play it on the 2nd line like this. We need to be respectful of white strength. If we get something like that, then we are more or less happy, because we created a base. Or after this, maybe some variation when we go into the corner, something like that. That also can happen. If we play like this, white can start a fight easily like that, and in some cases it is good, especially when we already would have this stone here, because after the sequence there is a weakness in the corner. We can play there immediately or jump, and after a jump we can play there. So we have the weakness that we can use. In the game it was a bit harder to use it, but still black should have jumped. If we jump later, this weakness may appear. For example, if white will play like this, we can take this big point. And now we are rather safe, and white needs to take care of the weakness. And if white adds a move, so white is stronger, then we can continue. Maybe jump further to the center. Those are all good. Unfortunately for black, there is not a lot of space on the left side, because the stone is making a boundary, and it is not good to play like this. It is better to play like this than to play like this. This would be very bad, but still, black will not get enough base to have a living shape. It is almost a living shape, but a bit small. And black played away. I think playing away is fine, because we can go to the center or try to leave. But white already got a lot of strength here. So white should be satisfied. Black went down, and if we play the attachment to the Hoshi move, we always play like this. And here it is not so great, because, for example, this Joseki should work if this stone would be like this. If this stone is higher, then it is a bit better for white. Similar with this Joseki. This is also a Joseki shape. And the same argument we can tell. This stone is better than the one at c14. But the most important in this position is that white can probably play like this. And if we don't have this this ladder, and I think black doesn't have the ladder, yeah, we don't have the ladder, then it can become very complicated. I think white could have played like this, and it should be hard for black. So, if we cannot play like this, then why am I complaining about the move like this? Because we could have played here. White, let's say white would answer, this is normal. And what do we think about the exchange? This move for this move. This exchange, the exchange of the triangle stones, should be very bad for black, because white got a very important stone that took the corner, and black took a stone that did not really help that much. We don't even threaten to cut here, we need to add a move, so we create some shape, but the whole corner is white, and this is very bad for black. And here we can, in the future, we can at least get this one. We can at least get this one. The most modern way to play here would be to pick like this, but there are many difficult variations here, so if we don't know the variations, maybe it is better not to play this. The most simplest one is this one, where white usually don't come back. Now it is a bit too slow, we just play away. But there are many different ways we can, I'm sorry, not this one, but this one we can answer the peep, so it is difficult to talk about all of the variations. Here it is a bit better for white. White tried to put pressure on the group, which is good. But I have the impression that white was doing this a bit too soon. It is true that the group is not really alive, and we can harass it and get something out of it. But there are still very big moves on the board to be played. And we should start with those, and then we can turn to this group and to pressing this group. For example, here black just played away. And I don't think there is a strong way for white to play on the left side. So we can get a lot out of this group. Black is almost able to make to ice. So it is better to take some big points like black did. Now black took a point, but it is not really a big point when we talk about territory. It maybe helps with some invasions that white could have played, but the better move to do that would be this one, I think. Now there is no invasion in the corner, and we also get some additional point, and we can later reduce the white territory. But the best move, I think, in this position would be to develop the upper side. White took the right side with the move R13, but it is still very low, and it is possible to lean against this group and get some influence, and the easiest and the best way to do that is this one. We are hoping for a sequence like this, and I think white does not really have any alternatives. If you get something like that, it seems to be a success for black, because now we can develop the upper side in a very nice way. If we get something like that, there are some different variations here, but black should be fine in most of them. For example, here also black should be fine. What else can happen? This can happen, then we can even try to separate the one stone. So black will probably get the influence the thickness that he wants. And this would be bigger than going here. And again, we can still do this, but black chose much less ambitious move like that. So the part of the board is good, but we just chose not the best move. This would be the most interesting one. Here we can easily try to play the double hand. We are not afraid of the cut. If it will be like this, surely black should be alright. Like, I think white has a lot of problems. In the game it was similar to this, and white also has a lot of problems, but black should not be afraid to fight like that. Here white cut, which was a bit ambitious, but we often cut in this shape to create some weaknesses in black shape. If we play from the outside later, we cannot cut because black will be captured immediately. So it is often a good idea to cut like this. But after this Atari and black coming back, we should consider just playing from the outside. We already created some weaknesses, and maybe we should just come back to playing from this side, because it is very hard to move out with those stones. It is very risky. Here these stones will still be a weakness for black, more or less. For example, after this, maybe we can just cut. So this stone will be separated. In the game, white just tried to escape with those stones, and this was a very risky decision. I want to warn you with the decisions like this. Sometimes we can play a calm move that will be like good for both, and there is no risk. And sometimes we start a big fight, and if we start the big fight, we need to be really sure that the fight is good for us, because we can lose a lot if it is not. So we should take the time, read a lot of variations, and see if this fight is good. And if we suspect that it is not good for us, then we should not start it. In this position, I think this fight is not really great for white. We will see. This exchange is not good. Why it is not good? Because we don't need it right now. We can play it later. But in some cases, we would like to play like this. So after white connect, then we have this move, which is much stronger than what is played in the game. So this is a classic example of Ajikeshi, the center exchange that is not good, because we are taking away our options. We had some options here, and after the exchange, we don't have them anymore. It is probably bad exchange. Here white needs some liberties to make a even shape, and it will be very hard to live with both groups. I will not spoiler what will happen, but it should be very hard. And now white is surrounded, so the only way to win this game is to capture this group, or maybe the other group too. If we capture one of these groups, then we are fine. If we don't capture, then the game is over. So it is a very risky situation. Unfortunately, after playing the h12 move, black can play like this, and capture the one stone like that. The stone is captured, and black is safe. And the only chance is to kill the other group, but it should not be really easy. I would say it should not be possible. So the game should be over now. White is captured and black is winning the game. Unfortunately, black played this one. And now it is more complicated. By the way, probably it was better for white to play this one. Probably. For sure it was better to play this one, because after this, there is this sequence. And after this, there is no sequence like that. Black would just jump, and the game still will be complicated. After this, now it is harder for black to rescue both groups, and white was able to find some sequence like that, where we surrounded the group in the middle, and this group has not a lot of liberties, so it should be dead. There was some sequence, but black cannot do anything to rescue his group. We rescued the other group, but it doesn't matter. Now white is winning by a lot, and the game has ended very soon. This is the end. Very unfortunate for black, because the game was even and black had a good position, and white started a fight that should not be good for him. But then, after some misplay, white managed to capture the group in the center. Let's sum up. We play on the fourth line when we are ambitious and want to create on the lower side. If we have some moyo on the lower side, this is a good move. If we don't, probably not the best. If we come to the corner with the two stones like that, we should start with that, with something like that. We should respect that white has the strength and try to create a nice situation when either we go into the corner or we develop the side. So we are taking what white will give us in this situation. Here it is more important to go to the center than to try to make the base, because there is no space for the base. Even if we get a base like that, we are safer, but white got a lot of strength. And it was not worth it to do it. Here we never play this move, always this one. Or if we cannot play this, we can play this one. Here white was a bit optimistic with this move. We cannot really attack black here, so it is not so important. Here we need to remember the sequence. This is the simplest one. This is what we want. And this cut. With this cut we should treat these stones lightly, but we did not, and the fight started, and it was a very risky situation for white. Fortunately for him, white managed to kill, but if only black played this move, then it should be over. Okay, thank you for listening to review, and good luck in your next games.